Hello and welcome to Turning Point Tactics, the competitive Kill Team 40k podcast and YouTube channel focused on giving you the strategies and tactics to siege initiative every turning point. I'm your host Ryan and you're listening to our Threat Guide series where we cover your opponent's factions and give you the knowledge to defeat them. The episodes will cover their strengths, their weaknesses, any gotchas they might have, as well as giving you some suggested tactics and counters to defeat them. With all things Kill Team, there are no certainties. So you'll have to take this as a reference and adapt your tactics to you, your team, the terrain, and the mission. Before we begin, I want to give a massive shout out to my patrons. You guys are incredible and I hugely appreciate the support you give me. If you too are interested in supporting the channel, there's a few ways you can go about doing so. Firstly, you too can become a patron, where you'll get access to the Discord, patron priority questions, early access to content, some exclusive content, as well as tournament rewards. This really is the best way to support the channel, and we try our hardest to support the patrons as much as we can. Secondly, if you find yourself buying Kill Team goodies or hobby supplies, you can use one of our affiliate links. This means that with every purchase you make, a little bit comes to the channel. It'll cost you nothing, but it'll help us keep the show going. We have affiliate links with Element Games in the UK or Noble Knight Games in the US. Finally, you can always support for free without spending a penny. It's as simple as hitting subscribe, liking the video, and sharing amongst your local community. Telling your friends about us is a great way to connect the communities and help elevate everyone's game. We're keen to hear your thoughts and feedback, so don't leave that comment box empty. Let us know what you think. Maybe we missed something, or maybe you have a better strategy. Drop a comment and let us know. Once again, thank you for your support, and with all that said, let's get into it. On this episode of Threat Guide, we're talking about the front line of the Astra Militarum is the Veteran Guardsman Kill Team. This kill team has 10 to 14 operatives, 71 to 99 wounds, an average 5+ save, an average 4+ ballistic skill and weapon skill, but their sniper and demo operatives can hit on 2+. So let's talk about the key strengths of the Veteran Guardsman, starting first with manpower. This team has 14 operatives and 12 activations. That means they have a body count bigger than Mia Khalifa. Probably. 12 activations puts them tied equal for the highest activations in the game, and clearly defines them as a shooting horde. They can use their activation advantage to wait out all of your big threats, and then respond with some big damage from either their demo or their sniper operative spotted by the spotter. That brings us on to our next strength, the sniper. 4 attacks hitting on 2s, 3 damage, and 3 mortal wounds on a crit. This guy will JFK even but the strongest of models. Supporting Deadshot himself, the team can bring up to an additional 4 additional gunner operatives, but usually the flamer stays at home and they just bring the plasma, melter gun and grenade launcher for that extra AP. Although the gunners hit on 4, they have access to team-wide ceaseless to increase their reliability. So let's talk about this team's next strength, area denial. Firstly, the demolition veteran. This operative can deploy a remote mine with a blast range of 6 inches, and with 4 attacks hitting on 2s, 5-6 damage, AP1, and silent, it hits harder than Chuck Norris with a power fist. What makes this mine particularly good, however, is that it hits you even through walls, and therefore heavy terrain doesn't provide any sort of protection, and you definitely won't get bored of then being able to place one down every single turning point. Next you have the spotter operative. This operative can select a model on the board with invisibility and treat it as if it's an engage order for another operative to then shoot at. This can be GA2 to immediately reveal a shot. Most commonly you'll see this be used with a sniper operative, but it can also be used with a grenade launcher for a turn 1 alpha strike, with a blast target, or potentially plasma weaponry against an elite target. This can be used to lock down an objective and punish anyone that moves onto it. Let's talk about the team's next strength. It has 3 silent weapons, with the sniper, the spotter's ability to launch a barrage, and the demo mine. Combined with the fact that they can take a double scouting option for equipment points, that means that they can take infiltrate to have up to 4 threats on turning point 1 that are hidden from you. They can also take equipment to reroll the initiative roll. That puts them on a 58% or 75% chance, depending on who has advantage, to be able to seize initiative in turning point 2. Next, they have a great faction tac op called Stand Fast. This is where they need to hold more objectives than their opponent, and with 14 bodies, it's easy to commit the resources to do so. You might be wondering how 14 2APL models can make it to the objectives in the midboard, but VetGuard have an answer for that. Into the breach. The strategic ploy means that they can all perform a free dash from their deployment zone, and this gives them the movement potential to reach the midboard objectives and even conduct GA2 loots if they need to. But that's not all. They also have access to Guardsman orders, where they can get +1 to their move, ceaseless on their shooting, ceaseless on their melee, or ceaseless on their defense dice. This gives the team some great flexibility to be able to increase their movement potential or damage output where needed. Most commonly you'll see this used as a turn 1 move, followed on by take aim for ceaseless shooting for the remaining turning points. Next, this team is surprisingly durable. They achieve this durability through numbers. 14 operatives is a surprisingly large amount to have to deal with. Their main threats can wait out your activations before revealing themselves, or use their silent profiles to avoid return fire. But Veteran Guardsmen have one last durability trick, and it's one of their strongest abilities. It's called In-Death Atonement. It's a tactical ploy for 1 CP, which stops the model from dying straight away. Instead, they can activate them as their next activation. This means that even though you think you might be killing their plasma or their melter gun or their demo mine before they get to do what they want to do, unfortunately, they spend a CP and do it anyway. This can hurt more than looking at your bank account after a trip to Warhammer World. So let's talk about the team's weaknesses. Firstly, they're locked into the security archetype. This means their attack ops and playstyle is predictable and therefore easier to counter. Combined with the fact they're one of the first bespoke teams, they're very well known. Most players have either played as this team or against this team at some point during their tournament games. So most opponents are well prepared and unlikely to be caught out by a gotcha. Next, this is a 2 APL team and only has 1 comms. After turning point 1 where they've used their free into the breach dash, it limits the movability of the team and their ability to respond to new threats. Their comms is also locked in place, having to relay orders, and therefore the APL bubble that they can issue is quite limited and restrictive. Next, at only 7 wounds and a 5+ save, these operatives are fragile and they will die to a stiff wind. They're particularly reliant on their cover saves to have any sort of durability, so if you catch them outside of cover, it won't be long before they crumble. Team-wide Ceaseless is great, but hitting on 4s really isn't, and at some point during the game, the reliability will fail you. This can become even more painful if they play against a team that can turn off rerolls, as natural hitting on 4s just doesn't work out. Next, having 14 models is great, but it's also a constant mental tax, as you have to think about what you're going to do with every single one of them, every single turning point. Combine that with the amount of time it takes to move and activate each operative, you can quickly run out of time during a game. If you're a slow player, this probably isn't the kill team for you. The other risk of having 14 operatives on the board and that constant mental tax is you're likely to bunch up at some point and then risk being hit by a big blast. Constantly having to measure out blast ranges from all your models can again compound that mental taxing issue and time constraints that you'll have during a tournament. Finally, and their last weakness, is they have somewhat bad melee. The strategic ploy clear the line to retain a hit in combat is good, but they're only 3 attacks base. Hitting on 4s means you're unlikely to get more than 2 hits, so any competent melee operative will dismantle you with ease. So let's talk now about their gotchas to avoid you getting caught out by the veteran guardsman. Firstly, we talked about it already, but in-death atonement. This tactical ploy costs 1 CP and is used when an operative is incapacitated. This lets them use it as their next activation. And note, they don't count as being injured, therefore it can be used as a buff if they had an already wounded gunner model to then go back to hitting on 4s with Ceaseless. But remember, it can't be used against a model that's already been activated. Next, the demolition veteran and his pesky mine. That mine has a 14-inch threat range and is going to hit you through walls. At the start of the game, they can do the into the breach to move 3 inches forwards. For guardsman orders, they can be given move for +1 inch to their normal move. Receiving an APL buff from the comms lets them move 7 inches, place the mine within 1 inch of them, detonate it within 3 inches of that point. So when deploying your models, be aware of that 14-inch threat range from their deployment zone. Next, this team love the mission loot. With the ability to dash multiple troopers forwards in the strategic phase using into the breach, they can then set up for a GA2 loot option straight away. This means with their first activation at turning point 1, they can loot 2 objectives within 10 inches of their deployment zone, and their second activation can be another GA2 to then loot another 2 objectives. Against veteran guard on loot, you really have to prepare for the rushed loot plays. Next, let's talk sniper and spotter, or gunner and spotter. This gives the potential for an alpha strike on turning point 1, where they can reveal one of your models in heavy cover and then shoot at them with either a gunner model or a sniper. If you're not careful with placement, this can lead to a large blast on turning point 1 from a grenade launcher, or losing a key model in your first activation. But that's not the only trick the sniper has. Everyone assumes that they have heavy, but that's only if they shoot on conceal. If they switch to engage, they can move around 6 inches or even 7 inches and shoot at full effectiveness. Next, the team can issue double orders. They have a 1 CP tactical ploy, Inspirational Leadership, and that lets their sergeant model issue an order to all models within 6 inches and visible to it. This lets them stack move, and take aim to get the best of both worlds. Remember, this can be done mid-turning point, so don't get caught out by a sudden increase in range from a demo or gunner. Next, they have access to the rosary equipment. This gives a single model just a scratch once per game. This can seriously increase the durability of one of their key models, such as their sergeant or a hardened veteran with a 5 at Phonopane and just a scratch to make sure they hold on to an objective. Next, there's a confidant veteran. He has the ability to GA2 with another model visible and within 6 of him. This can be particularly useful into the dark to be able to open doors and make way for a bigger threat to move through afterwards. Note that this gives this team 3 options for GA2, again making them very, very strong on loot mission. It can also be used to contest an objective or move 4 APL onto objective to loot it under your feet. Another potential use versus elite teams is just to burn through activations and reduce the potential of an overwatch. He also has the ability second in command. If you manage to kill the sergeant, he can take over and issue guardsman orders himself to give a bit of redundancy where needed. The hardened veteran can deliver a surprising powerful punch. His bionic arm has a base damage of 4 and a crit damage of 5, With Clear the Line active, that's a guaranteed 4 damage against a model within charge range. Clear the Line is a strategic ploy that lets you retain a dice in melee before rolling it, and this is good for their durability in melee, as it forces your opponent to get 3 hits rather than just 2 to be able to kill you. So let's talk about counterplay and how to beat the veteran guardsman. Firstly, as with all kill teams, you need to prioritise those threats. The mine and the gunners, particularly the sniper, are the most reliable killers on the team. Once the troopers have used their crack grenades or frag grenades, their threat output goes down, but their mission play becomes essential. You'll need to continually balance between killing mission operatives and main threats as the game continues. Next, you know this team's going to be working with security, and therefore you need to be positioning to deny security tac ops. You should have models ready to move into the centre of the board to contest central control. You should have models ready to move onto the centre line to contest centre line. If they nominate a seized ground target, make sure to start biasing models over there early so you can reach it by turning point 4. If they've elected to take stand fast, make sure you have operatives on your home objectives so you don't give them a free VP by accidentally leaving objectives uncontrolled. Next, if the opportunity is provided to you, kill their leader and then their confidant. Getting rid of their team's orders is a massive blow, and the priority of this kill should be made above all else. However, I wouldn't waste my time by taking Headhunter. A good veteran guard player isn't going to expose their leader for a kill, especially in turning point 1 or 2. Next, you have to figure out how to play against the spotter. The important thing is they can't ignore obscurity, but they can ignore your orders. And the shooter is the one that needs to not be obscured. So work to obscure the shooter wherever possible, even if you're visible to the spotter, and make sure you use that obscurity to your advantage throughout the whole of the game. Smoke grenades can be a friend here, as they can deny any of those shots from being able to be effective. If you're playing on loot, you absolutely have to predict the objective grab, and where possible, contest it. Even if you can't loot the objective yourself, you can contest it by placing a 2 APL model and force them to use their GA2 to loot a single objective, giving you time to loot others. Next, you need to be able to get around in-death atonement. If you can, and you're strong enough in melee, you can use melee to be able to stop this. If you're an elite player with Fight Twice, conducting double charges is a great way to secure kills, as they'll try and lock you in combat with in-death atonement. You can also charge block in-death atonement models. If you shoot them and they die, and you still have your charge available to you, you can charge into them. This stops them being able to then activate and move and shoot someone else. Instead, they have to fall back and waste their activation. Against a 14 model kill team, you want to be doing double kills whenever possible. But again, remember that in-death atonement. If you're hoping to charge, fight, kill, and then shoot another model, the likelihood is they'll in-death atone and deny you a double kill. Therefore, you're best waiting out the in-death atonement, and once it's gone, then releasing your double kill potential against the full team. Next, it's important to use their 2 APL and restrictive comms to your advantage. Where possible, bully them on objectives. By placing a model on there, you can force them to commit 2 models, increasing the possibility for a double kill. It's also potentially useful to help deny stand fast. Finally, beware of the demo. You want to make sure that when they detonate, they only get 1 kill at a time and not a multi-kill. If you can, reduce their APL to reduce their threat range or deny them shooting. Use spacing where possible, or position yourself close to enemy operatives so they're forced to do fratricide. That concludes the briefing. What questions do you have? That brings us to the end of this episode. Hopefully you found something new or useful while listening. If you did, throwing us a like would be greatly appreciated, and share this with your friends so they can benefit as well. If you want to make sure you don't miss any episodes, make sure to hit subscribe and select the bell icon so you get notifications as soon as the next episode drops. It really is the best way to help a small channel like ours. If you can't wait and you do want early access, you can join the Patreon, where you get exclusive access to all of our content ahead of time, as well as exclusive videos, access to the Discord, and tournament rewards. If you are an existing patron, let me take this moment once again to say a massive thank you for your support. As always, we'd love to hear your thoughts and feedback, so drop a comment below and we'll get right to you. Thank you so much for listening. I'm your host Ryan, this has been Turning Point Tactics, and we'll see you next time.